Hi everyone, it's Angel Shaver, a Stampin Up independent demonstrator from Kansas. My phone is ringing and hopefully that'll just stop in a minute. Today I have just a little show and tell, and then we're going to make a couple of cards. This is a rack card that I received this week from Honey Wong from Australia. I hope I said that correctly. And I will be getting the picture up on the Rack Facebook group and saying thanks, hopefully tonight. And then the only other thing I have to show are my cards that I did for the Aim for Alaska blog hop, the sneak peek of the new annual catalog. And I just wanted to show them because if you are coming, the sliding is horrible. I can't figure out where you can best see the colors. If you are coming to my in-person class tomorrow, we are going to make 2 of these, and I would like you to message me, email me the colors that you would like to make. We have Old Olive, Dapper Denim, Berry Burst, and Crushed Curry. So just let me know which ones that you think would be fun or that match the birthday cards you need, and I will get those colors put in your card kit. We are going to make this card today in card class together. We're going to make No One Deserves a Happier Birthday Than You. Actually, you can put whatever sentiment you want here, but we are just going to use different shades of purple and stamp some balloons. So let me go ahead and just get, this is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of very vanilla cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and get out my balloon that will make the solid balloon. And we are using 3 different ink colors. There's Rich Razzleberry, Elegant Eggplant, and Perfect Plum. So I'll just set those 3 out right there. Get myself a stamp block for the balloon. I think I'm going to start with the darkest. Well, no, I ended with the darkest. Maybe I will start, it doesn't really matter, and you can use whatever colors you want, go in whichever order you want. The whole idea is to make this yours. So I am just going to start with the Perfect Plum and put a few on here. You could stamp off if you want to with these, but I'm choosing not to so much. In fact, that one needs a little extra help right there. And stamp off the page on, make sure you have some kind of covering under your stamping surface so that you have the opportunity to just stamp right off the edge of your cardstock. For now, that's how we're going to leave the Perfect Plum. me grab the Stampin Scrubber, and I will get the balloon stamp clean, and then we'll go on to the next color. I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry next. If you choose to do this after the new ink colors come out, there is a great new ink color called Fresh Fig. And that's actually what we'll be using for the card base on this card. But since you guys don't have access to the ink yet, I decided not to be mean and use an ink that you can't access. Do that one out in this corner. Okay. Then I will close the Rich Razzleberry, although we will be using it later. And I've cleaned off my balloon, and now it's time for the Elegant Eggplant. I would say this is my absolute favorite Stampin' Up! Color. So I'm just curious, what's your favorite? Would you message me, text me, send me comments and let me know? I just think it's kind of fun to see exactly what everybody else likes. We are all so different. And one more right there. Give that one a little more help. It's got a little bubble in it. And so does that one. Okay. Now I'm going to switch. And instead of using the balloon stamp, we are going to get out the streamers. And I did the streamers in Rich Razzleberry, and I think I will do that again, but I'm going to change the color for the sentiment this time around. Oh, I'm using Elegant Eggplant without even meaning to, and I kind of like it, so I'm going to leave it. And then we'll do the Rich Razzleberry sentiment, because I just wanted them to be a little different this time. We'll put one over here, jumping off the corner of the page. And I, of course, got a fingerprint right in the middle of where I'm going to put my sentiment. So hopefully my sentiment can cover that up without it being too much of an issue. Close that up, and let's decide which sentiment we want to use. I don't think that one fits very well. It's a great sentiment, but it really needs a more open, empty spot. guess I'll use the same one. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. Get that on my stamp block. I can get one of the thicker words over that tiny fingerprint, and I managed it. So here it is. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. We'll put that aside for just a minute and go ahead and get ready to stamp a balloon on the inside. Very vanilla, though, will go on the inside of the card. I think I'll stamp it in Rich Razzleberry too, only this time I'll use the balloon with polka dots. So here we have it. Stamp it up in the corner. Alright, get that cleaned up, and then we're going to add a balloon string with the elegant eggplant. So I will close up this ink. Take those inks, set them over here because we're done with them. Get out a balloon string. Open up the elegant eggplant, get it ready. And put my head in there to figure out where I can add that string. There we go. Oh, I got another fingerprint. Well, we're just going to flip that over and redo the inside of the card. This is a really difficult way to do this, but I'm going to try it. String first. This is not the way I would recommend, but since I had the string balloon already on the string for the balloon already on the stamp block, I decided to just go ahead and do that. Now we'll see what happens here in a second when I put the balloon on there. Oh, I don't want a balloon in elegant eggplant, so I will put that away. Open up my Rich Razzleberry. And now, to see where this can go, right there. Alright, it's flying off the page, but that's okay. So I'll put my inks away. And here in a minute we will get out the bone folder and the cardstock and finish up our card. bone folders down here. So I'll take my hot dog style fresh fig. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And we are going to fold that in half and match those up, and then use my bone folder to get a nice crisp fold across the top. And then we are going to use the Tombow and glue on these two beautiful pieces of art we just created. There goes my phone again. It's telemarketers generally who try to get a hold of me at this time of day. So we'll just see what happens. Okay. We put in the inside of the card. That just why I love Tombow, because when I get it off a smidge, I can just slide it and get it right. So there we have it. We just created a birthday card. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. And there's the balloon on the inside. Now we'll put the birthday cards away and get ready to create a card from the Nailed It bundle together. Both stamp sets that I used today are retiring at the end of this month, and I did not remember to check the status of the Balloon Adventure stamp set, but I did check the status of the Nailed It stamp set, and it is low inventory. So if it's something you like as you watch this, or it's been on your wish list, I would recommend going ahead and placing an order. Okay, I haven't made an example of this card yet, so we are going to just be creating it together. I did cut this out. I took a 12 by 12 sheet of Sahara sandpaper and I cut off 4 inches. Yeah. And then 5 1/4 inches, about 5 between 5 1/4 and 4.5 inches off a 12 by 12 sheet. And then I scored it at 4-inch increments and folded it so we have kind of a cool tool belt. A little bit. Then to make the belt it look like it's a belt with pockets hanging down, I cut a 1/2 inch off each side, and I did go ahead and score. I think that was 1 inch all the way across, and then cut a 1/2 inch off each side. And then for the pockets, I cut 3 by 3 inch squares, and in a minute we're going to use the layering circles to cut out a half circle type shape at the top of them. And for the final panel, we are not going to put a pocket, but we are going to put a strip where you can hang your hammer. And I cut this to be a 1/2 inch by 3 inches. So, first thing we're going to do, I think, is stamp the tools, and I decided to go with the basic gray color. And speaking of that, I did not get out my basic gray ink. So we'll use my smoky slate ink and just see if that works. It's my size E block, and then my Nailed It bundle stamp set. And I will be using the screwdriver, the hammer, the wrench, and the saw. So just go ahead and get those stamped up on my basic gray paper. If you happen to have some silver foil laying around, I think that silver foil would make the perfect paper to cut these tools out of. But I didn't have any of that, so we are going to use the basic gray today. Close up the smoky slate and put aside my Nailed It stamps for now. Oh, I just moved the computer. There we go. And then I am going to go get the layering circles, and then I'll be back and we'll cut some things up. I always think I've gotten everything I need out before I start filming, but either I haven't or I lose something somewhere in the meantime. So hopefully that's all we need to go get. And I'm going to get out my stuff to go ahead and make my Big Shot sandwich. So we need a basic cutting plate, or the basic platform, and then the thin die adapter, and then one of the cutting surfaces, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut my pockets. So I'll get out my circles and figure out which size I would like to cut part of the top of the pocket off, so it looks like there's a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be good. So we flip it over. Uh-oh, that glued on me. That's close enough. It's kind of how I get with some of this stuff. I just eyeball it and see that it's close enough. Alright, and there we have one pocket. Now it's time to do pocket number 2. And these pockets are 3 by 3 squares, so it doesn't really matter which side you cut the opening out of. I like it when things are like that. There's less of a chance that I'm going to screw it up. Okay, put my circle back. Back up my layering circles. And then we're going to take care of thin lead dies. I'm going to put that pocket over there until I'm ready to attach it. Okay. Do that, and I will there get out my Build-It Framelit dies. These are not available, they have sold out. So if you decide to get yourself the Nailed It bundle stamp set, the bundle is not available because these framelits are not available. But you can just use your scissors and fussy cut out these shapes. So I'm wrapping them around all the shapes. And this time we are going to, also cut out the ruler. Let me get the saw on there. And then the ruler, and then I have to go back and adjust all of the things that I just shifted. That's why sometimes using the magnetic plate is better, but sometimes when you knock things like that, they would still shift anyway. So here we go. my ruler is not going to be as long as the die cut itself because it was longer than the paper. Alright, let me get the big sharp down off of here. And I will put my pieces up here for now. I'm going to get them put away in a minute. I am going to have to cut out the ruler. I have never used that die before, and I wondered what would happen. It actually just makes a nice set of ruler marks in a little rectangle. So I will have to get my trimmer out here in a minute and cut that out of that paper so we can put it on our card. Put my dies back before I forget. And so I don't lose anything. That has been known to happen. Especially stamps. Stamps are really difficult to find once you drop them. And they like to go on a journey. So, let's put away. Then I will pull my trimmer back out. Unlock it. And I'll try to just line that up. Alright. Was a pretty good plan. And then it's not exactly straight, so it isn't cutting exactly straight, but that's alright. It's still a pretty cool looking ruler. Alright. Now I'm going to take the Sahara sand ink and my little sponge dauber, and we are going to sponge around the edges of the pockets. Just flick, 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 flick. Some more on there. Flick, flick. I should be doing it this way. Probably no. Can't really see it too well on the back side. So I just flick, flick, flick. Flick, flick, flick. I know lots of people like to sponge in different ways. There are these sponge daubers. There are also sponges themselves that you can use. We have sponge rollers. But I just think it's fun to kind of flick around the edge to give it just a little bit of texture and dimension. You know, I saw this idea on Pinterest, so I did not come up with it on my own. There's somebody out there who created this idea, but I'm never really sure who was the first person. So I'll just say I found it on Pinterest, and the site I found did not have dimensions or exact directions, so this is kind of my made-up version of how I could use the products I had laying around in my craft area to create something that's supposed to look a bit like a tool belt. You'll have to let me know what you think, if I was successful or not. Then I think I'm going to sponge right along the score line right here, just so you can see that there is something different there. I chose to sponge on the side where the score line is raised a bit. If you trust yourself, actually, I think, not that I trust myself, but I do have a different idea in mind. If I can even find my watercolor pencils. What did I do with them? Okay, I think to get my watercolor pencils right now will mess up the camera. So here's what we'll do. We will put a lot of this together, and then after I'm done filming, I will get my pencils out, and I will color in some of my tools, different colors, and make a demarcation along the score line to make it look like a belt. Excuse me. And I will get a picture put up with this on my blog later. My blog is angelstamps1 at blogspot.com, or just go to angelstamps1.blogspot.com, or just go to my website, angelstamps.stampinup.net, and you can get to my blog from there. Alright, these are pockets. So I'm just going to put a thin line of glue right here on the tops, and then around the sides in the bottom, so we can leave the middle open. Get that pocket on there. And then we'll do the next pocket. And put it on the second panel. And then for the third panel, we will just put these little drops of glue on the ends of this strip. and pop it on there because this is going to be our hammer holder. Okay, hold that down for a second, and then we will be putting most of the tools in this first pocket and hanging the hammer from the second pocket. And we are going to use part of these to add some dimension. Put one on each edge of the pocket and each end of the strip. To go back through and clean that up with my adhesive remover. And somewhere, oh, I think I see it. I was going to say, I cut a little note that's supposed to fit in this pocket. I might have to trim it some more so you could write a message to whoever the recipient of this card is. Okay. So there we have it, a little tool belt with 2 pockets and a hammer holder. And I will get the rest of this finished off camera, and I will share a picture of it with you when I get it put up on my blog. So it was nice to make cards with you today. Just a reminder that in June, during our time together, we will be using Eastern medallions, or the Eastern Palace Suite, which includes the Eastern Beauty stamp set and the Eastern Medallions thinlits. And the suites are on a great special for the bundles just during the month of May. So if you're interested in playing along with me in June, we will be doing the Eastern Medallion suites, and all I ask is that you go to my store at angelstamps.stampinup.net and go ahead and order that for yourself, and then you'll be all ready to play along. So bye!